That's normal. The button enough. I was convinced I did, but anyway. As I was about to say, we can't change a winning team that is we can't change a winning team that is fumbling my intros to these. So, hello, you beautiful nerds of the world. How's it going? We are bringing back to. I'm excited today because we're bringing back a good, a concept that I haven't done in a while now, have I? Now my ears can hear you. What other parts of your body can hear me? What other parts of your body? Cause like specific. Having to specify your ear specifically implies that there are other parts that ears. But yeah, um, for those who are new to the concept, a while ago, I started a little series of stream where we just hang out. We just hang out. We chat around and the main topic of discussion is I just open a spreadsheet and I try to make a list of matchup for. At first, it was a matchup for every single Pokemon line. So we went through Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, and stuff. But you know, that can only go so far. So I decided to expand it to other stuff. Like I remember doing. I remember that last. I don't know if it was last time specifically. I remember we did like a Super Smash Brothers specific stream, and now, well, now it's time for multiverses because. And it's a game I wanted to hold on to do a one matchup per I wanted to hold on to make this kind of stream because you know it was a game that was expanding over time and I wanted the roster to be complete before I wanted a guarantee that the roster would be complete before doing any kind of stream regarding multiverses, but well, the game is shutting down. It's shutting down like next month. So that means the roster is pretty much complete. So I figure now is the best time as ever to just hop onto it. So without further ado, let's launch some music. I almost forgot about that. And let me know if the music is good enough, if it's not too loud, if it's not like overwhelming my voice a bit. And here's our roster. So before we begin, before we begin, I'm gonna set how this is gonna go. Usually, I have a rule that is like I have a little rule on top that usually says something like we try to avoid like returning characters. We try to avoid like spending too much time on characters that have already been on Death Battle. I prefer to focus on characters that haven't been on Death Battle yet. But you know, like half of the roster has been on Death Battle. So I decided, you know what? Fuck it. All of them are included. And even then, the roster feels kind of short. So I don't know. So I don't really know how how long the stream is gonna last. So I'm kind of I don't know. I'm thinking about I'm maybe bringing like their potential variants. You know, they have some costumes and skins that sometimes turn them into other characters. But while there are some characters have like some interesting, some of them have interesting Um, they have interesting costumes. Like we have the Batman who laughs. We have we have Cake the Cats, Fern the Human. You know, kind of you know, uh, um, good extra flair like that. But then we have like random things like the rowdy tough boys. I forgot their names. Like the boy version of the Powerpuff Girl. We got like Uncle Shaggleworthy, which is I don't think that's very interesting, but depending on how long depending on how long this is. Rowdy Rough Boys. Thank you. Sorry, I completely fumbled that one up. Thank you, Reese. But yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say. So now we can open the gates. We can open the gates with. Let's start with Adventure Time. I've seen a matchup right there. Mirror versus Mr. Incredible versus Superman. Okay. We're not focusing on the. How do I say this? We're not focusing on like the multiverse exclusive. You know, when we're talking about those characters, it has to be like the original. We're not just picking the multiverse Superman. Like, might as well just find a matchup for Superman. I think it's a bit more interesting to do this. I do admit that multiverse shutting down kind of makes me sad. Such wasted potential in the game. It was okay. It was a fun game. I sucked at it personally, but I remember having a good time. But oh god, everything surrounding it just like reeked. You know, like all of the I mean, I'm not gonna make the whole speech about like microtransactions and all the rotation. I think the rotation system is kind of scummy in my opinion. You know, and like, but like the fact that you have to buy actual skin with your real money to progress through like the story mode. Like there are some extra chapters you can get if you have like a specific skin and you have to buy it with actual money. That's what kind of sent me off this game personally. But no, it was fun while it lasted. But man, was it weird. It was weird all around it. The game in itself was a fun, and I just wish it had a better roster. Like I don't have a single character in this list that got me like, oh yeah, I want to play that. Like except maybe the Iron Giant and Jason, but like none of them really hooked with me personally. But it could have had if it lasted longer, but unfortunately. Let's just dive into it. You know, sorry. So for the I classified every character per like franchise, so we can go like one franchise after another. So let's start with Finn the Human. And already we're kind of hitting kind of a weird spot because doesn't Finn the Human and Jake already have a very popular matchup, but like as the two of them with Finn and Jake versus Mordecai and Rigby, and I'm not sure how to tackle that. While Nickelodeon Brawl All Stars, the polar opposites, it did right. Uh, it did right. It did right what Multiversus did wrong. Yeah, yeah, I get you. Well, we should probably. Did I do a Multiversus? I know I did the spreadsheet. Like I have a spreadsheet ready for whenever we do like a Nickelodeon Brawl Star special like this. But I don't know when. I don't know if I did it if I did a stream like that already. I don't think I have, but you know that's an idea. But possibly after this stream, that might be the episode after that. Um. So like, how do we handle Finn and Jake? Um do we include Finn and Jake as like for do we give him the matchup, or do we stick to the spreadsheet and we go one by one and we try to find a matchup for Finn and a matchup for Jake? There's a solo Finn the Human matchup. Finn the Human versus Toon Link. Finn versus Link is a matchup that comes back pretty often. Why Toon Link specifically? Because like, isn't even this Toon Link like a reincarnation of several Link? Like I know is it like Wind Waker? Wait, I'm trying to remember the games. Isn't Wind Waker Link like a different Link than the one you would find in like Phantom Track? So I'm kind of wondering like why this style of Link specifically. Uh, Just like I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the connection is with Finn and Link to begin with. Like they're heroes with swords, pretty much. I should. I tried to watch Adventure Time. I say I should watch Adventure Time, but I tried, and I've been kind of put off by it. It's I don't know. I don't know. There are so many things in this show that made me like a bit uncomfortable when I watched the like at least the very early seasons of the show. I don't know how it gets later down the line, but and the responsible is Jake. Well, one at a time, please. Let me let me just look it up. I'm not gonna wait for an answer. Finn versus Link. It seems to be a lot. Yeah, it seems to be a lot of Toon Link specifically. Is there hard to say because no. So Link versus Finn. Do you have any pretty much they are reincarnated heroes. Oh yeah, isn't there a whole thing about like reincarnation in Adventure Time? Ah. Okay. I'm picking up the idea at least. I still don't know why Toon Link specifically. Maybe it's just an aesthetic thing, which fair. Mm. I get. I guess if they're like heroes reincarnated across time, yeah, yeah, the concept is kind of the concept is growing on me a little bit with this premise. So why not Finn versus Link? Zelda. That sounds pretty good. We can come back to it if anyone has a better idea. Um, Next up, we got Jake the dog. What does this guy have? What does this guy have? I'm seeing a lot Well, I'm seeing a lot. No, I'm just googling. I'm just going on Google Image uh, and just scroll down. Oh yeah, there was a Jake versus Amethyst from Steven Universe. There was a Death Battle cast of Jake versus Amethyst, but I don't know if how about Jake versus Luffy? No. I think Luffy's got way. I think he's got better. I think Luffy's got better somewhere, and I'm not even mentioning Naruto versus Luffy. Uh, no, just because he's stretchy, like that doesn't. I don't think that works. Or I don't think that fits both. I don't think they fit each other. Um, so Amethyst, I'm seeing Goofy, from Disney. I'm seeing Bender from Futurama. I can see the vibe. I can see the vibe that it's going for, but I'm not certain about that. Um, mhm. It was worth it. No, it's okay. We're just that. It's the whole concept of the stream. We're just throwing ideas around and see what stick. Uh, I'm seeing Plastic Man, which is funny, but like Plastic Man has to fight Mr. Fantastic. Like we have to like that needs to be a man. That needs to be a matchup more than Jake versus Plastic Man. Well, I do get Jake versus Amethyst. It's got the like they both have the like kind of like the same attitude, and they have like sort of like the same powers. I mean, every gem can shapeshift, but Amethyst is just the one that has the most fun about it. Uh, so I'm not totally on. I'm not totally against it. I'm just afraid that Amethyst just might get her shit wrecked in this fight. So because like, uh, because apparently isn't Jake like this almost like intangible, not god, but like this intangible entity that can just like squish and just reform himself whenever he wants. Like it seems a bit. I'm afraid that it's a bit unbalanced, but I could go for it. Didn't fans want Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake? Yeah, that's what I've been saying at the beginning. Jake the Dog versus Scooby Doo. I mean, that's the reverse problem. Now Jake is dead. Jake is dead now. Uh, no, wasn't there like okay? Oh, that's a deep cut. Wasn't there like a stretchy dog in Crypto the Super Dog cartoon? Wouldn't that work? I forgot his name. Let me check it out. Crypto uh, Super Dog. Sure, there's a wiki about it. Exactly. There's heroes. Streaky. Is that the guy? No, Streaky's the cat. Let's see. Stretcho Mutt. Yeah, that sounds like the that sounds like the name of a superhero dog that stretches. That's gotta be the guy, yeah. Let me see. Power and abilities. Elasticity due to falling into a vat of experimental elastic solution. Body is made out of rubber and can stretch into various lengths. And change shape. His rubber body can also resist deadly germs since they bounce off of him. He can change his voice, shapeshift. Hmm. Well, he seems to be able to do a lot. Let me know what you. Uh, I have an adventure matchup in the form of Marceline versus Wolfgang from Skylander. Who the fuck is Wolfgang? But then again, I'm going. I'm doing as deep. I'm doing as deep a cut as as Crypto the Super Dog cartoon, so I can humor you. Oh, okay. This guy, the the hyena with like, okay, with a harp. I get you. Let me look. Let me see what it's about, because I don't know shit about Skylander. So like that's it's gonna take a lot to. It's gonna take a lot to convince me. No, I'm not reading all that. The werewolf guitarist, one of the undead playable, a former member of a group of notorious villains called the Doom Raiders, appears in races unlocked. Eh. Story wasn't always a werewolf. Hunts over the musician. Said to it was a pretty big if. No competition. Wait. No competition for Jake. Scooby Doo can pretty much do anything. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Um. No, but I like the idea of like this whatever Stretcho Mutt was. I like the idea of Stretcho Mutt. It's possibly not even a contest, just as much as Amethyst, but at least it's got the connection. that's that's really that's really the most that's really the most I can think of. To make things brief, he's a werewolf that does rock and roll and has kind of a redemption arc. Yeah, I kind of see where you're going with this in a certain way. I also have another idea for Marceline, but I want to wait until we actually get to Marceline to talk about it. But I'm holding on to it. Now the most complicated of the bunch. What the fuck do we do about Banana Guard? Do people want to see Banana Guard in Death Battle? I'm sure they do. I'm absolutely positive someone's gotta find a stupid joke about it. See, I already see the piranha plants from Super Smash Brothers, and I'm seeing this pilly guy from the banana guy from Fortnite. So if we go by multiversus scaling versus versus Fortnite scaling, how interesting is that? Can you imagine like scaling to Superman versus scaling to the Infinity Gauntlets? Can you imagine? I'm just saying, it can go wild. it can go kind of. It can go places. Fortnite scaling isn't all that. Yeah, but it kind of is though. Uh, Banana Guard versus Toad. They protect terribly a pink princess and friends with heroes. That's actually not a bad idea. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, the Toad guards, or like the actual Toad. Ah, that's not. It's not that bad actually. Like that takes more like that takes more of the banana guard like from the show. So I'm liking this a lot more actually. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it actually. That convinced me. That actually convinced me pretty efficiently. I like this idea. Yeah, the toads and the banana guards they both seem like I can see like a kind of an army fights of all the toads like using like their little spears and maybe power ups, and maybe the banana guards like I don't know what they pulled off. Uh, I don't know what they pull off in the show, but like yeah, there's potential for a very stupid army fight. I like this. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. To emphasize, I'm gonna put all of this into plural. I'm I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Now Marceline. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be annoying because I have a matchup with Marceline I'm particularly fond of. Like yeah, we talked about Wolfgang, but I'm really a sucker for Marceline versus Charlie. Why did I forget? Charlie Morningstar from Has Been Hotel. They're both like they're both like the daughters of millennia old demons that just care about the music and song, and they just want to chill, and like it can lead to some like, and they have like powerful demonic magic, and it can lead to some like very good musical, like it can lead to like an actual like death battle musical, which I'm really like, I don't know, this is my death battle musical personally. Can I Now I can envision an army of banana guards and toads fight each other. Why I like this now? I know, right? It's kind of infectious. I really like the banana guard versus toads. I might do a thumbnail about that because that's really funny. Um, Has Been Hotel doesn't really belong in DB though. I don't see why it doesn't. I mean, they kill shit. They kill shit a lot. They I mean, their whole finale is about fighting and killing angels. I mean, it's not all about it, but uh, they have a spin. Hell of a Boss is literally about a bunch of assassins. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't belong. If fucking Scooby Doo can belong in modern, if fucking Kool Aid Man can belong in Death Battle, and if people give me shits when I say that, oh, Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin, I don't really see them as fighter. If people give me shit for that, I don't know why you would give me shit for Has Been Hotel. Doesn't scale that high though. Alistair's a Homelander. I want to say give it a bit of time. I want to say give it a bit of time. I'm sure. I'm sure that Charlie could scale up to a bit higher, like going against go because like she went against Adam. There's potential for her going after Heaven, and like maybe confronting Alistair, confronting God. We don't know how powerful Alistair is really. So, uh, My Marceline matchup is Marceline versus Lord Raptor from Darkstalkers. That is a good one too. I'll give you that. Hey Sean, by the way, stopped playing Oblivion to be there, to be here. Wait, is the Oblivion remake like, is it released? Like I feel like it just shadow dropped. Did it just shadow drop? Did they just shadow drop the game? Give me a sec. Because I'm seeing like gameplay footage everywhere. Oh, it is available. Like it's right there. Okay. Damn. Damn. I might consider this. I might consider this, but then again, I'm seeing the price, and I might not consider this. Mostly my love for Skylanders, and that is just an understatement. Yeah, I think I picked up that pattern about you, Eric. Uh, Adam's attack wasn't that big. It's season 1. Again, it is season 1. We can wrap it up. We can rank it up. Like, there's no, there's no, there's no like, there's no telling how high it can go. Plus, I don't really know how. I don't know if Adventure Time is that high too. Well, I guess they do deal with a lot of like universal shit or something like parallel universes. So maybe they deal with that. But I don't know if Marceline takes part in all of this. You know, she seems tamed in comparison. So I don't know. That suits me a bit. That resonates with me a lot more. So you know, but I do like the Lord Raptor as well because it does play into like the undead musician that I say I like about Charlie. But my only counter argument against this is that, well, Lord Raptor's not a girl. He's not a lesbian, I guess. It's my only. I prefer Brooke from Lord Raptor. Yeah, and there's that. There's that as well. I don't really know much about Brooke, but I can see I can see that. So yeah, my man leans towards Charlie because of musical battle. Yeah, I feel plus like I feel like with Marceline and Lord Raptor, that would be like a good musical track, like a musical track, a metal track, which we're kind of used. We're kind of used to that right now. With Hazbin Hotel, you can kind of combine metal with something a bit more enchanting, a bit more, you know, a bit more of a spectacle. I think. So I think there's a bit more potential visually and and audibly with Marceline versus Charlie. So I'm kind of I'm leaning towards I'm still leaning towards Charlie Morningstar, even if I'm the one who just dropped that one on the table. If so, eh, let's keep it. Uh, I also found Marceline versus a 2003 Raven, Goth Girls with Daddy Issues and Hidden Power. While Marceline loves music, Raven prefers quiet. That work. I mean, that does work too. But I'm kind of I'm just like not sure about using like a specific version of the character. Have I seen Indie Cross? I've seen episode 1 and I haven't got to watch the other one. Plus, like episode 3 has Five Nights at Freddy's in it, so fuck it. Fuck no. I will not beat. You will not beat my my Five Nights at Freddy prejudice. Uh, um. Anyway, let's move on from Adventure Time. Let's move on to Beetlejuice. I feel like Beetlejuice is one of those characters that keep being. I feel like Beetlejuice is one of those characters that keeps like being requested for Death Battle. Like for years, I've seen this guy pop up, but never in a consistent matchup. I've seen him against the Mask. I've seen him against Freakazoid. I've seen him against what was the last one I've seen? Let me remind myself. Beetlejuice Death Battle. Yeah, we've had the Mask as a Death Battle cast. We've had Loki from Marvel. Uh, oh yeah, we had there you go. We had Grimm from Billy and Mandy. There you go. We got Bill Cipher. What the fuck? Uh, well, speaking of has been hotels, I see a matchup with Alistair, but I'm not convinced by this one. Uh, I have a weird one. I don't know if I know you don't like horror, but Candyman. I I'm not sure if I want to look it up. To be entirely honest, uh, either the I'm not convinced by Bill Cipher. I would be a bit more. I would be leaning to a bit more towards the Mask. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's a bit more of a vibe going on with the Mask, with the two being like cartoony eldritch freak, basically. Cartoony Toon Force freaks. I don't know a whole lot about Beetlejuice, but it does feel like uh Beetlejuice versus the Ghostbusters is honestly very debatable. Yeah, but like, why though? Because like, there's a Ghostbuster versus a. The comparison is that there's a Ghostbuster versus an actual ghost. That doesn't really like that's not a connection for me. That's like a scenario. No, it's not fun. It's not funny. It's too simple. It's like ah what's that? I remember like someone suggested to me like a Luigi versus an actual ghost, and I'm like, that's not really like, yeah, it's just Luigi Mansion, but you replace the enemy. It's like putting Mario against I don't know, but it's like Mario versus the fungus guy from The Last of Us, because it's fighting mushrooms, y'all. Like, yeah, it's funny, but like as a death battle, it's not really worth the joke. Long story short, Beetlejuice versus Candyman. Don't say their names multiple times or you're dead. Okay. So it's like Bloody Mary. Ah, actually, does Candyman versus Bloody Mary work? How does Candyman versus Bloody Mary? How does it sound? Um, but yeah, Beetlejuice versus the Mask could be. I'm a bit leaning towards that one. Beetlejuice also has the genie from Aladdin. Yeah, there's that as well. I've seen that one, but I'm not sure. Well, that's mostly because I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Beetlejuice, so I don't know exactly how he works. So I don't know what's the connection you want with the genie outside of, you know, they're just like wacky spirits that do anything they want. Just wanted to throw that out because I kind of like the concept. That's what this stream is for. We're just chilling, throwing ideas at the wall. We see what stick. Uh, I like, of course, I kind of have a final say about like what are the matchups I like, but you know, we're just dumping. We're just dumping. um. Hmm. Both have, wait, what? I mean, both have existed in Candyman's timeline. What does that mean? What does that mean? Both Candyman and Bloody Mary have existed. Oh, in wait, in his franchise, you mean in Candyman or like in Beetlejuice? No, in Candyman's timeline. Okay, okay. Gotcha. So it would be kind of like what's that? Wait, I'm trying to think of a. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of a matchup where they've met before. Um, Not Omni Man versus Homelander because they met after the Death Battle, but like Scooby Doo Courage basically, but with a kind of a kind of a horrible bloody twist. Uh, Kind of a Gogeta versus Vegito. I was more leaning towards like very different franchises or like very different characters, but yeah, that also works. Uh, that also works, but maybe it's my gross misunderstanding of Beetlejuice, but I'm kind of leaning towards Beetlejuice versus the Mask. Maybe it's pure vibe, the fact that they are both the fact that they're both like kind of like eldritch beings of capable of doing like Toon Force stuff. Maybe like if I looked a bit, if I was more familiar with both the Mask and if I was more familiar with Beetlejuice, maybe I would be a bit more judgmental about it. But fuck it, let's go over let's ride the popular wave this time. It's Dark Horse comics, right? I'm not. I didn't say it. Anyway, now we attack a good chunk. We're attacking a big chunk this time because we're moving to DC Comics. Wait. It depends on what you like for a Beetlejuice matchup. Do you prefer a comedic horror tone like the movie, or do you prefer an over-the-top cartoony tone, like the cartoon or the comics? I mean, when I imagine Beetlejuice personally, I think of the over-the-top cartoony tone, like the cartoons and the comics. I don't really know what tone. I feel like shit, how is it called? A dark comedy could work for for like a dark comedy tone would work. Would be interesting to explore. So it's just like not necessarily like I'm not a big fan of horror, so I'll have to go for the over the top cartoony one. So let's move to let's try to move. If you have any objections, like again, you can we can go back if you want. But let's go to Superman, the big guy. I've seen Superman versus Sentry being thrown out there. Now Superman is a big cake because he's killed Goku 3 times, and it's very hard to um it's very hard to disassociate Superman from Goku when it comes to matchups for me. I've seen the only one that really sticks out to me with Superman is Optimus Prime. Yeah, there's been a lot of pushing for Superman versus Optimus Prime. I don't know how to feel about this one, cause like I kind of get the personality of it, cause they're both like they're both like loyal, good the character. For Superman, anyone that isn't Goku, you can take a vacation. Yeah, no, we are not picking Goku again. We're not making this a fourth time. We are not making this a fourth time. Don't worry. Um, I'm not sure about Sentry because yeah, he's got the vibe of Superman, but from what I picked up about like his story, he's like his story is not very. It's not very Superman esque. So he's not. He doesn't seem like. He doesn't seem very Superman esque for as a character. So I don't know how to feel about it. I just noticed I forgot Aquaman. Oh, maybe it's because he was implemented last, and I forgot to add him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just fixing that right now. There you There we go. There we go. Okay, so Superman versus Ultraman, the iconic hero from the West and the iconic hero from the East. Oh, you mean the giant dude? Uh, I don't like the big size difference between the two, which is why I'm also put off by. I'm also a bit put off by Superman versus Optimus Prime. But at least Optimus Prime's got the personality to back it up. Yeah, he came out when Lola did. Yeah, yeah. Well, I just forgot about it. I've heard Superman versus Archie Sonic thrown around. Do you want Sonic to die again? Like, I'm already not a fan of him against Goku, but like I'm already not a fan of Sonic versus Goku, but Sonic against Superman? Like, please. I know you got a crossover with DC, but that's not a valid enough reason in my eyes. Uh, we all did because who wanted to play Aquaman? Oh boy. Let's not be a dick to Aquaman, not yet. uh, but like, my mind is jumping between like, it's between Optimus Prime and Sentry for me right now. Because I get the visual for Sentry, but I get the heart. I get the heart for Optimus Prime. I don't like it, but lots of people want Optimus Prime. I'm on the same boat where I don't really know how to feel about it. There's also suggestions for like Superman versus Thor, which I'm not sure I should. Which it doesn't sound good for me. Um, I see Superman versus Homelander. Am I right? um, where's Proboscis when you need him? Go on Century. Sentry, Sentry just like I don't know. I don't know about Sentry to be entirely honest. Um, he doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like a Superman esque figure about him. Cause like yeah, he's like I'm looking his backstory again. Like he like Sentry is a meth addict. Like he's a meth addict that just stumbled into the wrong drug and bam, he became Superman. Did you know that the Injustice Superman is canon to the main comics multiverse? I mean, isn't the concept that like every single universe is canon to the main comics? That's kind of like why the whole cosmology of DC is bullshit. Is that everything connects in one way or another? So I'm not that surprised. I'm not that surprised that it connects to the main timeline. Plus, like um, especially like given the thing with how is it called, the Final Frontier, like the latest reboots that said that apparently like pretty much everything is canon about Superman. So yeah, he's no longer an Elseworlds universe. Okay. Uh, still not that surprised, but I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, hmm. Sorry. Since this morning, my eyes have been like swollen up. I don't know why. It's like it's like I have a. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I had too much tear behind my eyes, and they just don't want to come out for no reason. It just like keeps pouring between my eyelid, and it's just and if I try to rub it, it hurts even more. So it's kind of hard. But before a Superboy comic, it was believed that Injustice was an Elseworld universe. Which is sure. I feel that Optimus should fight Captain Titus. Uh, despite the size difference. Uh, uh, uh. I mean, like, you're talking to a you're talking to a pretty casual fan of Warhammer 40K. I don't know how Titus compares to Optimus Prime, to be honest. Like even like it's even less out there. How about Superman versus Madoka Kaname? Embodiments of hope, saving their worlds with their kindness. That sounds like a random anime. A random anime name. I'm sorry. Fuck it. I'm falling to temptations. I am going with Superman versus Optimus Prime. Uh, I think it's got. I understand the personality of these two, that they are. Oh, Madoka from Madoka Magica. Okay. Madoka Magica. I still like the idea of her versus Sailor Moon. To be entirely honest, I like the idea of Madoka Magica versus Sailor Moon personally. Like we need a magical, like a full on magical girl fight. So I'm kind of saving Madoka for that. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of best I can think of is Optimus Prime. Sorry for Eric who wanted Century, but no, is it was it? Yeah, it was Eric Hovland who was like trying to push for Century, but nah, I'm getting Optimus Prime. Plus, like that would make Robuscus happy. So anyway, something a bit more simpler, a bit bit simpler. Batman. He's got a shit ton of matchup. I can how well he's got a shit ton of matchup, and he had a shit ton of matchup that already happened. So what do we give him? What do we give this guy? Uh, the first idea that comes to my mind is Moon Knight. Daredevil works as well because I know that like Moon Knight versus Azrael is extremely popular. For good reasons. I'm also rooting for it. I also kind of want a Moon Knight versus Azrael, but you can't gloss over the fact that Moon Knight versus Batman was a thing. You know, Solid Snake. I mean, I'm not sure about it because Solid Snake feels like he feels like a different person than well, not a different person, but like he fits a different mold than Batman. You know, when Batman is like a superhero vigilante, does justice in his own way with like tools and gadget. Solid Snake, like yeah, I'm sure he's doing justice his own way, but like I don't know, he seems like he has a base of operations. He's a spec. Is it wrong to say he's a spec ops as an equal stat matchup is my preferred? I don't really like the concept of equal stats. It's just like I get you just want to compare the characters, but like if you're I don't know. I don't know. At least like for these at least for this kind of when it comes to looking for a matchup like on a spreadsheet, it doesn't really hold much weight for me for the argument. If anything, it just proves me that we need equal stats for it to work. Um, him versus Kiritsugu Emiya from Fate. I don't want Batman versus a Marvel opponent. I mean, DC and Marvel are super easy to compare. Like it's not his fault. It's not Death Battle's fault. Uh, but like if you want something that isn't Marvel. Is there anything about Batman? Give me a second. Give me a second. Welcome. Congratulations. He's not fighting a Marvel character. Batman versus Superman. he's not fighting a Marvel character. But I'm seeing Rorschach from Watchmen, but wait, Watchmen is DC. What? Watchmen is DC, so it's not. It doesn't help. Uh, oh, I don't want to. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I think I still like the idea of I still like the idea of Batman versus Moon Knight. I feel like it's the one of the last Batman matchups we could be like. It's one of the last Death Battle matchups that I feel like, yeah, Death Battle would do that. What about Superbat? Superbat versus Strange Fate? What fuck kind of fan fiction are you writing? plus, doesn't that make like plus doesn't that make like DC and DC versus Marvel and DC? Like it's not very balanced. it's not exactly a balanced fight on the Marvel side. Plus, like it's not really that bad, but anyway. Superbat's a real thing, yeah, but Strange Fate. I'm talking about that part. Um, but then again, didn't Marvel and DC did like fight comics back then? Cosmic Ghost Rider versus Dawnbreaker. That has Batman. What? Okay. What kind of a alternate universe Batman is that? Uh. Okay. Well, see you, Master Pink. Um. Because I keep seeing like Cosmic Ghost Rider being brought up, but and I'm really not sure how to feel about that. Because like that feels like, I mean, that just feels like Cosmic Ghost Rider, like as if Ghost Rider wasn't cosmic enough. Imagine Batman and Green Lantern doing a fusion dance. All right, I'll look into it, but what is it called? Dawnbreaker. What is it? Is it Batman grabbing a Green Lantern ring? Is that what it is? Yeah, real name Bruce Wayne. Uh, oh, he's a guy from the Dark Multiverse. That's not really our Batman. That's not really our boy, you know. That's not really our Bruce Wayne. So I don't know how to feel about that. Uh, Batman versus Kiritsugu, vengeance heroes who fight justice in the night. They adopted orphans. I'm sure if I cared more about Fate, I would care a bit more. Uh, to be entirely honest, no, I'm leaning too much towards what I'm leaning I'm leaning too much towards simplicity. I'm sorry. Uh, I think Batman versus Moon Knight just works. I think it just works. Now, let's just move on to Wonder Woman. Good old Wonder Woman. When is she gonna get when is she gonna get a good episode? Am I right? Can she possibly get a good episode? Because God, I was so sad when She-Ra versus Wonder Woman just did nothing with the idea of She-Ra versus Wonder Woman. I feel like that was the best matchup left. And oh God, Pegasus Seiya. You have the Greek god thing going on. At least there's that. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. I'm seeing a lot of Captain Marvel, but I feel like Captain Marvel gets obliterated. There's Marvel's version of Hercules. Eh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it fits that well. I feel like Thor makes a a better mythological Marvel adaptation opponent. That was a long sentence. Uh, like if I need to think about Pegasus Seiya. Um, because Pegasus Seiya has like he also has a potential just like Madoka. Just like Madoka, he has like some potential matchups with with Sailor Moon, and I like that too. But I guess if you want like if you want to bring back Wonder Woman, like, and you like without having a rematch of like Thor or She-Ra, and we're not even talking about Rogue. uh, what the fuck is a Lady Sith? I'm gonna look that up. Marvel Lady Sith. Okay, she does give she does give like she gives Viking Wonder Woman vibes. So I'm liking I like this. I'm liking this. It's very good it's very good wiki page for her, or is it just is she just like so obscure that even the Marvel database don't think about her? So Sith, beautiful warrior goddess of the Vanir, Heimdall, sister of Heimdall, a sentinel of Asgard's Rainbow Bridge, which connected Asgard and Midgard. She fights alongside Thor, so you can make the connection that like, oh yeah, you know, we compare Superman with Thor, can compare Wonder Woman to Sif, but I don't want to make the connection like I don't want to be I don't want Wonder Woman. I don't want like I don't want like the one of the most popular feminist icon to have a connection being tied to a man. So but yeah, she sounds like she does give a lot of like warrior goddess vibes. She's like she seems to be very protective of her homeland. Like with you can do the same connection with Themyscira and Asgard. Oh shit! Oh god! I just realized. Oh fuck! I just realized I didn't put my playlist on loop. Oh no! It must have been a. I was I was realizing like it's getting kind of silent. It's been a bit silent for a bit there. So let's just can I just play something, please? Thank you. Anyway, this was supposed to be the actual vibe. I'm sorry. That's like the main that's like the main attraction of those that's like the main attraction of these streams for some people. Anyway, yeah, I like Wonder Woman versus Lady Sif. You know what? I'm making my mind. I made up my mind. Wait, no! Actually, wouldn't Lady Sif make a better fight for Nubia? Because we have Nubia down the line. Wouldn't that work better? Because they both seem like obscure versions of Wonder Woman and Thor. So I'm kind of thinking like, you know? I'm not crazy, right? That might be a really good matchup for Nubia. Like I don't know anything about Nubia, but let me see about Nubia's matchup. I know I normally prefer to go like down the one by one, but since I'm thinking about it, yeah, she doesn't seem to have a lot of matchups as well. well, I'm maybe not big onto. I don't know much about Nubia as well, so I need to look her up. Formerly the Guardian of Youth Norway, after Hippolyta abdicated, Nubia was appointed the new Queen of Themyscira, later Queen of all Amazons. So like they are. Let's go. Let's go. I got my connection. They both used to be gatekeepers. Let's go. Let's go. We got Nubia. Nubia versus Lady Sif. Let's go. So we're still on the Wonder Woman now. We're still stuck there now. Any ideas for Wonder Woman? Oh my god, I completely cucked that idea. God damn it. I completely cucked ourselves. I need to relook this up, but I'm kind of... Yeah, I guess, you know what? Let's go Pegasus Seiya. You know what? I guess we... Let's go Pegasus Seiya. Let's not... Wait, no, Pegasus Weya. Senseiya? Yeah. It's like we call it Knights of the Zodiac where I am, so... Okay, moving on. Harley Quinn. What the? You know what? No, you're not. Actually, you don't have to pick a matchup for Harley Quinn. I got you covered. And I got 2 returning characters. Harley Quinn versus Amy Rose from Sonic the Hedgehog. Bam, boom. Bada bop. Done. There we go. I don't want to hear it. Two hammer wielding ladies. At first, you know, gone a bit intoxicated by love, but then they matured. Then they mature and become badass warrior ladies. With lots of spunk, lots of never was conquered by Domino. I'm sorry, Ranger, but I'm a strong Harley Quinn versus Amy Rose believer. I love Amy Rose. I mean, I'm okay with Harley Quinn, but Amy Rose deserves to come back in Death Battle. I think she's the best matchup. Speaking of Harley Quinn versus Rosie the Rascal. Yeah, but nobody cares about Rosie the Rascal from Archie Comics. Like, she's just evil version. Like, that doesn't really represent Harley Quinn well, you know. You know, Rosie the Rascal was what Harley was, and not what she is now, you know. So I think it doesn't really clip as much as Amy Rose. So with that, we just got Harley Quinn versus Amy Rose. I'm 100% behind that. Now, Black Adam. Black Adam, it's gonna be complicated because he has been a massively he was massively requested to fight Apocalypse for years. So it's like, it's very hard to, how do I say? It's very hard not to imagine like any other opponents. Got one for my good Black Adam in the form Gore the God Butcher. Okay, I don't know a whole lot about Gore, so you're gonna have to explain it a bit more. You're gonna have to explain it to me because like I know Gore is like he's a guy that like lived on a shit planet. He lost all his family to a plague or whatever. He asked for the gods to help him. They never answered, and then he found some god who was like dying, and he was like, "Hey, please, can you help me?" And Gore was like, "Nah, fam, I'm gonna take your sword, and I'm gonna kill gods." And I don't really see how that connects with Black Adam. If anything, that sounds pretty opposite to what Black Adam does. So, if it's a contrast matchup, I'm not really a huge fan of those. It's annoying because I think I remember thinking of a Black Adam matchup, or maybe I'm mixing with someone else. No, you know who matches well. There you go. Thank you, Ranger. I was just thinking about it. You know who would work well with Black Adam? Dr. Doom. Yes, they are both. Yeah. They are both two dictators, but they're dictators. But they like their country really worship them too. Yeah. There it is. Black Adam versus Dr. Doom. That was the matchup I thought about the other day. Yes. I'm very much behind that. They are two like powerful dictators and sorcerers who like rule an entire like fictional country with an iron fist. But they actually care about their country. And yeah. They don't think they think themselves as the hero of their country, and so yeah, I like this one. I like this one a lot. So yeah, Black Adam versus Dr. Doom. Let's go. Moving on, we got the Joker. Now this one. I hate how easy this one is. Because, even before Joker vs. Sweet Tooth, there was a matchup that was extremely requested. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Joker versus Green Goblin. I've never been a huge fan of it. I feel like Green Goblin is like too much of a different beast. That it kind of takes me away from the fight, but I also see why people compare these two. So I'm a bit my mind is I'm a bit conflicted. There we go. I'm a bit conflicted about whether or not like I want this fight or not. But at the same time, I can't think of any other options. Like to me, like Joker versus Sweet Tooth was the matchup I wanted for him. I got a in my mouth. Not a pleasant thing. So, you know what? You win. Get Joker versus Green Goblin, idiot. Another Marvel fight. Joker vs. Nemesis from Icon Comics. See that? Looks Nemesis. sounds like he looks he looks like the man meme, you know, the Batman without the bat ears. He looks like the Batman without the Batman ears, and it's just man with whites. He just looks like man. So I assume he wants to be some kind of like parallel to like some kind of protagonist, just like how the Joker is like just like how the Joker wants to be like the parallel to Batman about justice and stuff. I don't know. I'm just going off of vibes. Like he looks like he looks like a so-called like villain with a point. Kicked off a cat and mouse game between the two. This is a company that arranges for rich people to become super villains, which presumably gave them all the tools and training they needed. Grown bored of his life, bored with life, and decided to use his wealth to become a squirrel villain. Using Chief Inspector Blake Morrow as his arch enemy. Yeah, so like he's a guy that kind of shows his arch enemy, he shows his arch enemy like he would choose for a specific brand of milk. Yeah, crazy twisted villains spread chaos and murder in their city. He sounds interesting, but I'm not sure if he compares a lot to the Joker, because he sounds like a rich asshole. He just sounds like Elon Musk. If Elon Musk didn't have to like any facade to hide it, you know. If Elon Musk just didn't have to hide anymore. Which, you know, he's not doing a lot of that to begin with, but, you know. Sorry about that. I would still prefer Green Goblin. You actually made me prefer Green Goblin over a Joker matchup. Congratulations. I think. Congratulations, I think. Now, on to Raven. Does Raven have any, like, other matchups than Phoenix? Because, like, Twilight Sparkle was already kind of a stretch. A stretch that I liked, don't get me wrong, but... Or, like, does she have any matchup that isn't, like, just goth girl? You know? Really was about, like, because most of the time, because, like, I feel like it's the same problem with Black Adam, is that she was requested to fight Phoenix for so long that it's like, it feels like the only matchup that kind of fits this, you know? This is kind of like the only matchup that kind of fit her, in my opinion. Sailor Saturn? I don't know. I don't know what Sailor Moon is about. I don't know what Sailor Saturn is about. Is she like what? A sailor a sailor with like dark powers, whatever. Let me look it up. Sailor what's? Saturn. Oh, Toru Tomoe. Close friends. What's her shtick? Toru was involved in a freak accident in her father's genetic engineering laboratory. That is a sentence I was not expected to read from a Sailor Moon wiki. Experimental space. To cross over the Earth. His arrival causes a tremendous explosion. Both are dead and her father is injured. A sinister entity promised to restore Hotaru to life. If the prophet distraught professor agrees immediately, at which point... Oh, so she gets... Okay. So we have both, like, possessed... possessed girls, basically. Possessed superheroes. Members of peacekeeping teams manipulated and abused by a villain, Trigon and Dr. Tomoe. Same hair color, similar powers. Yeah, that'll do. You know what? That'll do. We underestimate the potential of Sailor, I feel. So, onto Aquaman. I've seen someone suggest something. It was like Aquaman versus Black Panther. I don't know if it makes as much sense as Black Adam versus Doctor Doom. Because yeah, they're both kings of countries, but like those are two very different countries, you know. I mean, they're both isolated from the world. I'll give you that. Atlantis and Wakanda being like secluded from the world. They don't want people to know they exist with all their wealth and whatever. I can do Raven versus Scarlet Witch if I'm not sure. No, I saw some ideas about Scarlet Witch, but I feel like it would just be Raven versus Phoenix all over again, but without the bird motif. So no, I'm not. No, don't worry. No. Sailor Saturn. I'm a bit more behind that. But like Aquaman versus Black Panther. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. Sorry, I'm looking for. I'm looking like all the possible. I'm looking what people post. on the internet about this, like different alts and whatever. I'm seeing a lots of like different alts, but none of them really strike me fancy. Aquaman versus Yamcha, yeah, I don't. No, I think SpongeBob did enough of a number on Aquaman's reputation, on like the lame hero character. I'm seeing Storm. Well, I guess that would be the same problem, isn't it? Because yeah, she's Queen of Wakanda. That's the same problem. I guess she's more magical about it. So there's that appeal, I guess. But yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about this really hard, but okay. Let me see, like, if people have a. Let me see the arguments for Aquaman versus Black Panther, because I'm a bit like. There's a suspicious amount of There's like a suspicious amount of thumbnails about it. So like, that means there's gotta be an appeal. There's gotta be an appeal aside from they're just kings, you know. Because at least I get the comparison between Atlantis and Wakanda. I'm just not convinced by how their methods, you know, mesh with each other. Because it would be like a mix of like, I mean, if you make this like, maybe if you make this an army fight between all of Atlantis versus all of Wakanda, like then you can see like the potential. But if it's just Aquaman versus Black Panther, like... There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of like interesting there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of interesting matchup left for Aquaman. Suppose there was the Eggman problem. No, because like at least like Aquaman and Black Panther, they can both work alone, you know. Like they can both work alone. Like Eggman, you were kind of forced to bring the Eggman Empire into this, and all of his badniks to make Eggman stand out as a fighter. But like, at least Bowser Eggman, they had somewhat of a connection of being Mario versus Sonic. Here it just feels, I don't know. It's the I'm gonna put it. It's the best I can think because it's the best I can think of. But I don't have to like it. But it's really because I don't want to look for like matchups that are like even lame. So yeah. Yeah. Well, let's just move on to another problem. From one problem to another, we got Jason Voorhees. I feel like he's gonna be compared to... It's a mix of like... I mean, Jason versus Michael has been a suggestion for so long. But also I feel like he's gonna be... I feel like Jason will be compared to every single horror slash slasher horror slasher characters in all of fiction. So I'm seeing Killer Croc. I'm not sure why. I really don't see it. I really don't see the connection between Jason and Killer Croc. Let me see. There's a lots of there's a matchup tier list. Like you know those on DeviantArt. You know those where people like list like one character on the side and you have like all the potential suggestions for the potential opponents people suggest about them. The guy from Slaughterhouse could be funny because like Slaughterhouse is literally what if you were Jason but as a protagonist and a good guy for some reason. I mean, you can compare it to Leatherface. Because like they were both, you know, they're both kind of, they were both born ugly and they got worse as they became more monstrous. No, I can't go Michael Myers. Like he's already fought it. He's already fought Michael Myers. We're not bringing back their opponents. Because, like, I agree. I feel like Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers is, like... It's, like, the only matchup that matters. But, like... Jason Voorhees, Killer Croc, brutal villains with skin issues and loyal to their mothers. Mama's Boys. I'm still not a big fan of it. Still not a great fan of it. I mean, there's Jason versus Freddy. It's like the only horror movie I've ever seen. So that's gotta count for something, I guess. You know, the famous the famous crossover of the century of Jason Voorhees versus Freddy Krueger. Wait, how is it called? Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, is the actual. It's the name of the Freddy's franchise, right? That sounds a bit. That sounds a bit. That sounds a bit too easy, but that's the best I can think of. That's the best I can think of. That isn't like. That isn't Michael Myers, but isn't too. I don't want to say lame, because like that's. No, where have I seen? I see like something else. No, yeah, I mentioned Leatherface actually. Uh, Guys, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Would you prefer like Freddy Krueger or Leatherface to fight Jason? If you had to choose. If you had to choose between the two, because like I'm leaning towards these two. Okay, we got one Leatherface. I'm waiting for answers. I got all day. I should probably eat dinner, but I got all night. Okay, it's leaning towards Leatherface, so I think I'm gonna slowly write it. Plus, like they were both in Mortal Kombat, so you can actually make a funny connection with that. Did I wrote Leatherface? Because like I don't know, they're both like horror slashers who were born particularly ugly, and then you know. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Game of Thrones, Arya Stark. Which honestly, I'm kind of sad this is the only character where we get to talk about Game of Thrones, because I feel like we need Game of Thrones in Death Battle. I don't know. I feel like it's been such a hit, and it's been such an iconic franchise, and plus the characters seem, at least their reputation is that they seem so down to earth that it kind of, I'm sure it can make a lot of interesting, I would say, grounded death battles. So I'm kind of sad that like Arya Stark is the only thing that matches. I found an Arya Stark matchup for me. Arya Stark was Amy Sorrow. I'm definitely intrigued. I give you that because I'm a massive Soul Calibur fan, so I know Amy. I don't know enough about Arya Stark, so maybe if you could enlighten me a bit more about it, I would be. I would be Jade. I would gladly appreciate it. I am indeed seeing a thumbnail for Arya Stark, for Arya versus Amy. Connections. Emotionless characters who have inherited short sword styles from a talented master and have received great royalty title. So like, was Arya poor in her origin? Like, was she? Because like, I remember that Amy's story is that she was indeed like kind of a poor, emotionless girl who helped Raphael escape from the authorities, and to show his gratitude, Raphael took her under his wing and like kind of raised her as his own daughter. So does Arya has like any similar vibes going on? I want to see that Game of Thrones. Because ironically, I remember actually coming up like way back. I remember coming up with a matchup that is basically Game of Thrones versus Soul Calibur, and it was Astaroth versus the Mountain. and I don't know, I just vibed with it. Third child, the second daughter of Lord Hightower and his wife. She's the sister of she narrowly escaping the person who house. Oh no, she's born into the House of Stark. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. It just sounds like it just sounds like young ladies with short blades. Well, Amy doesn't have a short blade. She's got a rapier. That's not a particularly short weapon compared to a needle. You know what? I don't really have any more. I don't really see any other matchups for her, so. I don't see any particular I see oh no, I'm seeing Arya Stark versus Katniss Everdeen from how's it called? Hunger Games. But I don't think even if I don't know these two, I can see. No, I can see Arya versus Amy having a bit more support. So you know what? I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna trust. I'm just gonna trust your judgment. It's Amy Soul Power. Okay. Okay. Moving on, we have in the Gremlins franchise, we have freaking Gizmo. People want Gremlins in Death Battle. Oh, I'm seeing Gizmo versus Grogu. Gizmo versus Baby Yoda. That's saying a lot, honestly. That is saying quite a bit. Gremlins director says Star Wars Grogu design is a ripoff from Gizmo. Oh, come on, man. Don't be a bad sport like this. I really don't. I think you guys need to help me, because what am I even? what am I even writing? Because I haven't seen Gremlins, so I don't even know where to start with Gizmo. I guess Gizmo versus Grogu, but I don't have the thing with that one. I want Gremlins versus the Critters, not a solo striker. Oh yeah, I've heard about the Critters. I mean, we can work that in, I'm sure. Grogu from Star Wars. Sounds dumb. Well, doesn't Grogu have like the Force? And isn't there a scene where like Grogu actually uses the Force to like lift a big rhino or something? So it's kind of. Let me see. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I'm seeing a lot of Gremlins versus Critters. Yeah, that could be a fun. Oh, Gizmo versus E.T. actually. Shit, you're right, Ranger. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I don't know actually, but yeah, that works too. That works way better actually. Never mind. Gizmo versus E.T. it is. Actually, that's actually really good. Good. I mean, I don't know, but like, it sounds good. It sounds good. But yeah, like Stripe. If we, what is Stripe exactly? Is he like a leader of the Gremlins? Is he like a killer Gremlin? Like, I don't really know what he's about. I don't really know what he's supposed to be. He just looks like every Gremlin I've ever seen. So it's kind of, yeah. Even if I, well, I'm seeing Stripe versus Leroy from Lilo and Stitch, but I guess it's like, oh, evil clone, boo. I'm seeing. Sorry, give me a second. I'm looking up. Stripe is the leader of the original batch of Gremlins. So I guess if you were to do Gremlins versus Critters, he would have to be included. That sounds logical to me. So yeah, let's go with that. Even if it does like go against like even if it goes against like a bit of a guideline that I made about group characters, like I only have to pick one. Stripe vs. Audrey 2, Little Shop of Horrors. I've seen that one too. Yeah, I'm not sure about that because like Audrey 2 isn't Audrey 2 one of the? Isn't Audrey 2 like a gigantic plant? I'm not exactly certain I'm not sure how Audrey would walk around. So it's a bit I'm leaning towards Gremlin vs. Critters. Just gonna say, we'll strike us leader. Alright, how long is it going? Oh, almost 2 hours and we're halfway through. God damn. Okay, let's move on to another big let's move on to another big chunk of the roster. Looney Tunes. I mean, this one's gotta be quick. This one's gonna be really easy because if I say Bugs Bunny, if I say a death battle with Bugs Bunny, come on guys, if I don't see the one, like please, I'm begging chat right now. You gotta say it. You gotta say it. Like who's an opponent for Bugs Bunny, please. Let's let you waste time. Of course, it's gotta be Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny. Did you think of anyone else? Could you think of anyone else? Come on. It's like the matchup. Now Taz would be a bit more. He's a bit of a trickier one. Because the first thing that comes to my mind is of course Crash Bandicoot. But like the spinning around is like the only real thing they have in common. And I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm seeing Tasmanian versus Primate. But Taz isn't really a monkey. I mean, he's a Tasmanian devil. So. I know Bugs versus Bonnie. No. No. You failed me. You failed me, chat. You failed me miserably. Anyway. I guess there seems to be a lot of voices for Taz versus Crash. I'm seeing Gon. You know, Gon, the little dinosaur guy. I'm not certain about that. He does have the little destructive carnivore energy. So that could work. Taz versus Stitch. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one as well. Like, I don't know. It does vibe a lot. I do vibe a lot with that actually. Because they're both like little critters that it's just like they do like half English, half like mumbling half the time, so I do vibe with it a little bit. My problem with Taz vs Crash is like I'm really afraid that Crash would get like annihilated, and I don't know if it would be worth it. Because like I don't mind stomps that much if it means like we have a good we have a good fight with it. Like it needs to be worth it, you know. If it's a stomp, it has to be worth it, and I'm not sure if Crash is like. It's the same with like it's the same problem I have with the the other Crash Bandicoot matchup that's getting a lot of traction lately, Crash versus Donkey Kong, that's being pitched. It's like I don't think it's worth the stomp, man. Oh fuck it, man. Let's put Taz versus Crash, but really just to decorate, yeah? Just to make it. Next we got Marvin the Martian versus Martian Manhunter. I actually have a good idea for Marvin the Martian. I actually have an idea for Marvin the Martian. I think it fucks a little more than its more popular matchup, because I want to see Marvin the Martian versus Invader Zim. I think it works so much more than Invader Zim versus Crypto, because they're both like little aliens which is descend trying to conquer Earth, and they utterly fail at it in a cartoonish amount of time. They fail a cartoonish amount of time, and they. I don't know. I vibe with Martian. I vibe with Zim versus Martian. Zim versus Marvin. I vibe with Zim versus Marvin a whole lot more, and I know that would be technically like that's what I said about Taz versus Crash Bandicoot being a stomp. I know this would be like just as much a stomp, because come on, we're talking about Looney Tunes here. But I feel like there's a bit more going on, so it's a bit more worth it. So I'm a lot more convinced by Invader Zim versus Marvin the Martian than I am about anything else. So I have to put this. Invader Zim. Let's just put Nickelodeon. Yeah, it's Nickelodeon, right? Alright, oh yeah. You. What's a matchup for LeBron James? I fucking hate that he's here. Like, what are you even doing? What is my bro? What is bro doing here? Who invited my man? Bro thinks he's on the team. Who invited Space Jam 2 into Multiversus? Like, goddamn. And it's not even that they put LeBron James in. It's not even that they put LeBron James here in Multiversus. They have the audacity to consider Space Jam 2 a new legacy as its own franchise. So you don't even get Lola Bunny or LeBron James as part of the Looney Tunes. No, in the game, they're specifically they are a separate franchise, and I just like, who fucking cares about Space Jam 2? Hello, Hakira, by the way. I am not putting Sora. Are you shitting me? I am not putting Sora versus LeBron James in here. Are you shitting me? That's like comparing Final Fantasy VII to fucking McDonald's. Okay? I do not want that. Space Jam 2 is a fucking corporate propaganda, and I do not stand by it. And I will not stand it. Yeah, I know it's about being isekai'd into different worlds. I don't give a shit. It's not. You don't earn to be compared to Kingdom Hearts. You don't compare Kingdom Hearts to Space Jam. You just don't. You just don't. I'm going crazy over this. Why are people comparing this? LeBron versus Parzival versus Ready Player One. I guess that works better. But you know, like Ready Player One, at least they have an artistic. You know, there was artistic integrity behind the crossover. So I don't know, man. It feels so wrong. It feels so wrong to celebrate Space Jam 2 in any way that is not ironic, you know? So that is not like ironic and cynical. It's like, oh god. Oh, you got a matchup for Velma. Okay, I was like, why were you talking about teenager girls? Anyway, I guess like the Parzival guy from I guess Ready Player One. Ready Player One with Parzival. I can get a little bit. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it, LeBron. You don't get a single more second than that. I'm not overthinking this. Now a matchup for Lola Bunny. Fuck Space Jam 2, man. Fuck Space Jam 2. Fuck whoever came up with LeBron James versus Sora. Like I respect them as a person, whoever they are. Like they're valid, but like who paid you to come up with that? Oh, I enjoy Space Jam 2 as a guilty pleasure movie, although I do understand your point of view. Thank you. I mean, like I don't want like people. If you enjoy the movie, but don't feel bad about it. I mean, I got a chuckle out of the Minecraft movie, so, you know, I got my guilty pleasures as well. But God, it is, I don't know, Space Jam 2 is so, like, it is so empty, it's just so much like, hey, look at all those franchises we own and we don't do anything about it. Lola Bunny versus Minnie Mouse. The female edition of Bugs vs. Mickey. I guess that's as complex as I guess that is as complex as you get with Lola Bunny, isn't it? Because like, I don't even know if Lola Bunny scaled to the amount of Toon Force that, you know, Bugs and the others would have. Because like she's only been in Space Jam, where all she did was balling. I know she was in the Looney Tunes show, that's what it was, where it's like a kind of a, it was more of a how is it called? A slice of life kind of a cartoon, kind of like a Simpson, where it's more grounded as a Looney Tunes as far as Looney Tunes go. I don't know if she's been like I don't know if she's been in shows where I don't know if she's been in shows that like where she really showed that she could like manipulate reality the same way Bugs does. So I'm kind of that's why I'm kind of thinking. Well, I don't know if Minnie did anything either. I'm sure Minnie did a lot more. Plus, no, actually, no, never mind. Because like Minnie has been like, yeah, she's in those Mickey Mouse cartoon like that are extremely. I forgot the exact name of the shows. I'm sorry, but it's the cartoon with a what happened? And that has like a lot of memeable scenes. And like she does some crazy stuff in there, but Maybe movie Princess Peach? No. No. It doesn't really fit. Let me just look up. That's not. Amy Rose, no. Daisy, no. It's fun. Actually, I do. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's an actual thread about some Lola Bunny. Break the laws of physics with lights for reality. Can reform a platinum like a pancake. Weapons, she got gears. I guess she would have. Okay, she would. She does have some cartoony shenanigans going on. Sally Acorn. That feels like it. No. It feels as much as I want Sally Acorn in Death Battle. I want it really hard. It feels wrong. It feels just wrong. Although I do get where you are going, and you are going to hell because of this. No, it's okay. No, but like no. Actually, I'll reconsider. I'm reconsidering Lola versus Minnie. I'm sure there are like some shenanigans you can do in this. Anyway, we're almost halfway through. We're almost halfway through, and I kind of need to take a piss. So, you know what? I'm just gonna disappear, and I'll just take a quick break, and maybe I might. I might take some dinner while I'm at it, but or maybe I'll take it after the stream. But I'm just gonna take a quick break. Meanwhile, you try to think about what matchups could work for Rick Sanchez. I'll be right back. We're back. We should be back. Okay, so right next we have Rick Sanchez on the line. Okay, so we had Rick versus the Doctor first. Now I know there's a lot of people that came up with the idea of Rick Sanchez versus the guy from Fortnite. What is it called? Like Jonesy, Dr. Jonesy or whatever. Like the main Fortnite protagonist, apparently. Because there's a story, apparently. Which I don't like, so let's go over chat. Rick Sanchez versus Standard Time. I know these two had kind of. I know Rick and Morty and Gravity Falls have kind of like collided from time to time. You know, they've referenced each other from time to time, so I get where you're going. Plus, like Stanford. My other problem is I don't know. I'm not sure how. I don't know how much. Oh shit! I just realized my head is way too big. I just realized that my screen was way too big. There it is. Oh, maybe I zoomed it wrong. That's why. Never mind. I think it was perfect. Like Rick. So yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't know what Stanford does instead of well, that isn't just, you know, he was gone for a while in the show because he was traveling, you know, through universes and stuff, and then he got like found by his nephew, yes, by his nephew and niece. And he was like, no, don't open any more portal, you're gonna summon him. And then they summon Bill, and you know what I mean? I don't know if we see a lot of what he does when he's actually traveling between dimensions. Maybe there's something to do about like the many books of Gravity Falls. Maybe you can find some lore into what he does there. But I don't know if that scales to Rick. Or Rick for Spender. I've heard that one multiple times and I never understood it. Like it's just like they're just crass guys. It doesn't really vibe a lot with me. Rick Sanchez versus Mr. Fantastic could be interesting. It could be interesting. It could be how do I say? I do get it, like greatest scientists in the like greatest scientists in the universe, smartest people in the universe. Plus, like there's whole like how do I say interdimensional how do you call it, interdimensional factions full of the same guy. Like there's an entire, like, just like how there's a council of Rick, there's also a council of Breeze. So I do get it. I get this one a lot, even though I don't know how much technology Mr. Fantastic has, and that could be interesting to talk about. You know, maybe the gizmo he came up with over the years. Because, like, when I think of Mr. Fantastic, I always think, you know, a stretchy man, but I don't know how good he is on the scientist part. Like, if we, because I know he has, like, on some occasions, I know he has he's got the ultimate nullifier in some instances. but you know, that's a bit more interesting. It's I would say this is my favorite of the 5 we got so far in the chat and in my head. It's the best of the 5 matchups I can think of. But I do like Plastic Man versus Mr. Fantastic as well. Oh, I guess it makes a good out. I should think about this more often. Fantastic 45. Yeah, Brick versus Reed. Brick versus Reed. It works, I think. Now moving on to Morty. That's is there a matchup that works for Morty? Oh, I'm seeing against Moxie from a hell of a investment. No, it doesn't work. Like I love Moxie, but that doesn't work. Morty versus Marty. No, because I don't think Marty McFly. I don't think Marty McFly like goes into the same amount of experiments that Morty goes through. Because like Morty's got like tons of mutations and transformations and stuff. Like Marty is dead, I think. Morty versus Tails. I don't really like the implication that Tails is like Morty, you know? Because like they get treated very differently by their respective idol, I would say. I'm seeing how is she called? UZ Doorman from Murder Drones. I'm not sure about that. Dipper has the same problem as Marty, because like, well, I guess he would. I guess Dipper has dabbled into a bit more occult stuff, I'm sure. But I'm not sure it's on the same level as Morty. So I'm a bit I'm a bit conflicted. Oh, sorry. I'm seeing like I'm seeing Morty Smith versus Uzi from Murder Drones, and I have to read this. Two teenage characters hailing sci-fi comedy shows. We both have a 2-word catchphrase, but I don't care about that. Gone wild, crazy adventures alongside a very hard encountering a series of dangerous. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's not that much. It's not as much as I thought it would be. Archie Tales, like I said it, like I'm not sure how I don't know how I feel about Morty being compared to Tails when it comes to like how they're being treated by Rick and Sonic, you know? It seems very different. But also at the same time it's the best option. It's the best option I can think of right now. Frick it. Morty versus Tails. I don't really like this, but Sonic. Sonic. Alright, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is going to be a bit more straightforward, because I know Shaggy has a couple interesting matchups. I remember seeing a couple Shaggy matchups. Notably, I think the one that makes the most sense, the 9 from Sonic Prime versus Evil Morty. Why not? I can get this one more, at least. At least I get this one a bit more. But Morty versus Tails itself, Geronimo's still turning. What is that? Oh. Yeah, but that's a rat. Yeah, no, he's this big. Not gonna match well with Shaggy. But yeah, as I was saying, I think Shaggy vs Luigi is the most interesting for me. It's not necessarily the most interesting Luigi matchup, because like there's also a lot of voices for Luigi versus Pac-Man, and I hear that too. Shaggy versus Goku. He's not. No, it's not. No, being OP is not really Shaggy's thing, and like he's not like being. He's broken because we like to giggle about. He's a broken OP character because we like to joke about True Force and whatever, but in his own world, like he's a normal schmuck. No offense, but like he's just a dude in his own world. But Shaggy vs Luigi is kind of Shaggy vs Luigi does. It does fit their character very well. I think it could be a funny Scooby-Doo versus Courage. It can be a funny Scooby Courage with human brains. They have a ride dragon in his Isekai book. And Scooby Gang travel to Isekai Darkage. Yeah, I know that they go on wild, crazy ass adventure, but he's not like. You get what I'm saying. I don't need to justify it. Now, Velma, someone dropped like an entire like thread about like a matchup, so I'm gonna have to take this. Futaba from Persona 5. Let me see. Persona 5 Futaba. Oh yeah, her. she does have a lot of she does have big big Velma energy. Or Velma versus Phoenix Wright. No, because like Velma is more of a prosecutor. She's more of the prosecution than the defense, you know. And I'm not necessarily a fan of like, oh, this against this that counter, you know. So like unless there's a real connection, I do like the idea of Velma versus Futaba visually. So let's see what he said. What Akira Yamaguchi said. 58 girls, smart, wear glasses, don't work in a team. It's a bees. Lonely, working computer, I'm the best friend, I guess. You have to go into. What about parents that work in a place that sells coffee? Yeah, well, just smart smart redheads detective with glasses, were good with computers. I like it. It makes sense. It makes enough sense. I don't really know how this would work. Like, how this would work, like, fight-wise. But, because, like, I don't know what Velma, I don't know if Velma does as much crazy shit as Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. As much as Scooby-Doo. Anyway, but, I do like the vibe. I vibe with it. Dino, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. Now, moving on to Steven Universe. Okay, we're already having the suggestion of Steven Universe versus Invincible. I mean, I get it. I can get it. I do get it. Let me just look up a bit more. Maybe a couple more matchups to really solidify. Because Steven versus Star was a really good one. I'm annoyed by Steven Universe versus Invincible because I know there's another Steven Universe versus Invincible matchup that is Omni-Man versus Pink Diamond, and I think that one sucks. But Steven Universe versus Invincible, from their perspective, that actually makes a bit more sense. Versus Deku or Shantae? For Shantae and Steven are half. Oh, they're half beings. Half blood. Okay. It's not the worst comparison I've seen. Yeah, they're both like half blood, half magic thing. And Bunchoi, I don't think that would work as well. I don't think it works as well as like Invincible and Shantae. I don't think Deku would work with that. I do like the idea of being half human, half something. And it gives you like great powers. I do like Steven versus Invincible a little bit more because of their personality is a lot more they seem to be more on the good boys kind of side. The Shantae is like, I mean, she is very much she's very much a good girl as well, and she's very much like she's very much a positive character as well. Shan out of the three, Shantae is the most likely to be like, alright, you're evil, I'm gonna kick your ass immediately. When, I don't know, Steven and Mark would be more on the, you know, there has to be another way kind of guy. How about Steven Universe versus Gwen Tennyson? Well, wait. I don't know what Gwen, I don't know anything about Gwen, so... Yeah, where does she get her magic powers exactly? There is a note for me from Rising of the Shield Heroes, and Shield users that were blamed by the past holders. A bit of a stretch. A bit of a stretch. The Steven universe is a bit more than just a shield when it comes to his fighting style. No, but no, but Steven Universe versus Invincible sounds kind of good. It does sound kind of good. I'm kind of I'm not sure how it holds like wise. There's Carapace from Miraculous. Oh, I'm kind of done looking up miraculous villains or miraculous character. I feel like there's a miraculous character for everything. I've been given a burnout with miraculous character when it comes to mostly because of the one Death Battle per Pokemon streams. I feel like there was a miraculous for every single stream. It was getting too much, but I do like Steven versus Invincible. We have two half-human, half-alien kids who find out like horrible truths about their parents' origin, and they kind of learn to like take that system down to rebuild it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of good, actually. I do like it. Let's get Steven versus Invincible. There we go. Next up, we have Garnet. Now, okay, we gotta be honest. We do need a gem in Death Battle. Personally, I would love to see, on a completely unrelated note, I would love to see, Undyne versus Pearl, for example. I think Pearl is my favorite gem, personally. But, I don't know about Garnet's matchup. I know there was, okay, I remember liking, Garnet versus Carnage. Like the Marvel guy, because you know there's two of them, I guess, and there was a big contrast of like Garnet being about like love and trust and whatever, and Carnage being just a psychopath. But we agree, it's kind of dumb. Yang versus Garnet. I feel like Yang is being compared to every single character that has gauntlets, and that doesn't really work for me. It's Josuke from JoJo. Why is that? Comparing her to C3 from Soul Calibur, what the fuck? I'm seeing her against Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, ironically. Doesn't make sense for Carnage versus Garnet, but Spinel versus Carnage is crazy effects. No, she's not a fusion. Spinel isn't a fusion. Spinel isn't a fusion of things, so it doesn't work. Oh god, I can actually see my... Someone reposted my thumbnail of Garnet versus Carnage. Anyway, Garnet versus Metagross. Because it's just fusions, yo. It's the same problem. That's silly. Anyway, I did see Garnet versus Skips. So who's that guy? Both have lived for centuries, fight with gauntlets, are the more silent ones in the main group, serve as leaders, skip specifically during fights or resolving problems. Kevin Levin. I'm seeing a lot of skips, so... Oh, isn't Kevin like the Ben 10 guy? He doesn't strike me as a Garnet guy. Yeah. Let me see Garnet versus Skips. What people have to say about this. Two ageless gentle giants, forever lost in love, Duke. Forever lost in love, okay. I'm not sure what the connections are. Other groups include. Okay, there definitely seems to be a lot of vibes concerning skips. There seem to be a lot of vibes for Garnet versus Skip. I would have loved to see what this like fandom page meant by forever lost in love for Skips specifically. I can't find like a good explanation of their characters. I'm going to go with my gut feelings. I'm going to trust my guts and kind of. Garnet versus Goliath. Garnet versus both of them. Wait. Ah shit. Serve as leaders and love changed their lives. Garnet through a joyful fusion, Skips through a tragic loss. Bonus, both changed their names after that. So Ruby Sapphire became Garnet through fusion, while Walks probably still while walks change to skips. Okay. Okay, so we have like discovering love and then losing love. Yeah, I can see. I can see the thing. Okay, I'm vibing a little bit. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it is the. It seems to be the best I can think of. So I can get behind that, despite my apprehension when it comes to regular show. But that's mostly a me problem. The Iron Giant. I've seen Akira having an idea. Optimus Prime or Astro Megazord. I think it's fucking Astro Megazord. Because I feel like if it's Optimus Prime, like Iron Giant is fucked. It's fucked. Main Megazord of the Space Rangers and Power Rangers in space. Later served as a base for the game. Yeah, okay, it's just a Megazord. It doesn't seem to be. Iron Giant versus Bumblebee. Not necessarily from the Bayverse. I think you can do like. Well, Bayverse Bumblebee does vibe a lot from Iron Giant as well. But I was thinking, like, could you make like a G1 Bumblebee and have it still work? You know? But I do like Iron Giant versus Bumblebee. It does resonate. It does resonate a bit. It does sound cool. It does sound kind of. They seem to like, at least how I imagine. The way I imagine Bumblebee is very close to how I imagine the Iron Giant, so I do vibe with this a lot, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea, you know. I'm gonna trust I'm gonna trust the idea that it's Bayverse, but I think like maybe you can slide in some main generation continuity transformer thing. I'm sure you can slide in some other. You can sprinkle it with some other iterations of Bumblebee. I don't like the Iron Giant in Versus in general. It's against the point of him. I do get that. I absolutely get that. It's not like Aang or the Doctor where they're pacifists. You can fight against that, despite being against. You know, I understand that completely, absolutely. Which is why I vibe a lot with Iron Giant versus Bumblebee, because Bumblebee from how I see him, from how I remember him from the Bay movies, the Bay movies back then, they both. Bumblebee really seems like a nice robot who doesn't want to hurt anybody. So it does sound like a good fight, a good like comparison between the two. I do like this. I do like the gentle giant robots fights. But I do get that it kind of goes against. I mean, putting Iron Giants in Death Battle does go against like the whole points of the character. But yeah, you know what? Let's do Bumblebee. Transformers. Bayverse. Now, okay. Okay, so when it comes to group characters like this, I thought it would be. I was kind of thinking about like. I was curious as to how we would take this because Tom and Jerry in Multiversus are the same character, but I don't know if we should like. At the same time, should we use this as a tag team? Do we have to include both? Can we just pick one? Do we have to pick one, like a matchup per them separately? Yeah, there you go. Don't force the Iron Giant to fight. Exactly. It's not a matchup like that I would want, but it's not like I wouldn't want the Iron Giant in Death Battle. It's just that you know if I have no choice, I mean, make it interesting. But I was like, do we even bother coming up with a matchup with Jerry Mouse? You know, it's like he's not even his own character. So that's my grip. Anyway, let's talk about Tomcat because it's interesting. Because like, I mean, we all know Tom versus Wily is happening. Like, it is happening. It hasn't happened yet, but it is confirmed. It is official. So I can't really put Tom versus Wily in that because the whole thing is about potential matchup ideas. But this is a matchup idea that is happening. It is going to happen. So I'm kind of like, it can't count. So the best alternative I can think of is another Looney Tunes character, and that would be Tom versus Sylvester and the Cats. I think it would work. I think it would work better. Well, it's not that it works better. It's just that it's not that it works better, like connection-wise, because that I don't really care about that. I think they're both equal, but like they are. I mean, it's the best alts, and I think it's the one we should include. So let's just Jerry Mouse versus Itchy the Mouse. I'm very tempted to put Jerry versus Twitty as well. Oh, yes. Actually, Jerry versus Twitty would go hard. Cause like, cause they've had like they both had ways to. They both had ways like to not only escape Sylvester and Tom, but like they have ways to fight back. Can you imagine? Yo, wasn't there like a monster Twitty? And doesn't like Jerry have like doesn't Jerry have like a big hulking form? Imagine like a hulking Jerry versus monster Twitty. That would go hard, actually. Yeah, they both have monster forms. Yeah, that would work, actually. Let's fucking go. I want to see that. Actually, they both work. They both. I'm surprised how well they both work. How well they both fit together. Actually, Sylvester and Twitty and Tom and Jerry. So that kind of. Yeah, I'm convinced. This would go hard. Anyway, moving on to Agent Smith from The Matrix. Gotta admit, this one's a doozy. Actually, I don't know why. I remember seeing. I remember looking. I remember looking for a matchup for another character. I don't remember exactly. And I remember there was a matchup that I liked because it was basically two birds and one stone for me. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Mr. Office got it. It's Mr. Smith versus the T-1000 from Terminator. Exactly. I was thinking about that because it was because you know T-1000 got into Mortal Kombat, and I was like, what's a good matchup for him? And when I heard I saw an idea for Agent Smith versus the T-1000. I just thought like, that actually works well enough. There's Controller X from Godzilla. Unfortunately, I don't know who that is. Agent Smith versus Kirito. Wouldn't wait, what's the name of that? Wouldn't Neo work better against Kirito? That sounds better though, right? No, I'm kind of dead set on Agent Smith versus Kirito versus T-1000. I don't know. There's a vibe of like cold movie pursuer, you know. There's Agent Smith versus Sin from Murder Drones, or Albert Wesker. I prefer. I have a better idea for Albert Wesker, in the form of Albert Wesker versus Senator Armstrong, in my opinion. I know that's kind of a hot take, but for Senator Armstrong, but like, I just really vibe with this matchup. But yeah, like the Agent Smith versus the Terminator 1000. I don't know, it just vibes. It's just vibes, like the plus they're both the Matrix and Terminator are about, you know, the machines, the cold machines overtaking the world. I think it works well. I think it works well. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Samurai Jack. So this is gonna be hard because Samurai Jack already has one of the hardest matchup. He already had one of the hardest going matchup in Death Battle's history. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to think of another matchup that is not Afro Samurai. So, funnily enough, from what I'm seeing, wait. Holy shit, guys. There's another guy that is called Something Samurai. Samurai Jack versus Atomic Samurai. Oh, they have nothing written about it. Come on, we can have a simple... Come on, we can have an easy matchup. Come on. Oh, he's a guy from One Punch Man. Atomic Samurai. Okay. childhood with Samurai. Samurai Jack was Kenshin Himura. Isn't that the guy with like the sword that can't cut? Like the whole thing of his anime is that like his blade is like backward, so he can't kill. He does that on purpose. Like he kills whenever he wants, but like that's the guy with like the red head and the red thing. I can just look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's him. That's just like for me. Yeah, that's it. That's who I think it is. But let me check this anime with this Atomic Samurai guy. Real name Kamikaze. Okay, great. Recognized as one of the most powerful heroes of the Hero Association, Swordmaster. Abilities and powers. Also considered Earth's strongest swordsman. According to the Paralloy, it is half monster state. What does that mean? Ability to perceive a person's life through a simple apple cutting test. A method he used to recruit his free disciples. Speed and durability, fighting style. Atomic Slash. Signature move, he performs over 100 quick sword slashes within a second, leaving his opponent in pieces. Yeah, 100 slashes in 1 second. That's not even light speed. You simple man, you simpleton. Airblade, stomach beeline slash. So he's got some range slashes. He's got Katana, Sunblade. He's got a Mystic Blade, okay. You know, I do like me a repeat. So let's go with Samurai Jack versus Atomic Samurai. I do like a repeat of. I do like the repeat of the samurai name. It's not as cool as Afro Samurai, but it's close enough. Now, the Powerpuff Girls. So, that's the... Okay, that's the... Again, the same thing with Tom and Jerry applies. Where I'm like... I don't know if I want to find a matchup for each individual Powerpuff Girls. But also, I don't know if I want to find a matchup that works with, like, the whole team. So it's very complicated to... So, like, I'm willing to go for any Powerpuff Girl matchup. Honestly. Oh shit, I didn't see the other... I didn't see the other comments. Samurai Jack is Link. I'm not sure which Link do we use, because a lot of the versions of Link have the same guy. Doesn't work that much. Powerpuff Girls is Stress Magic. The fuck is it? Stress Magic? Stress Magia? Stress Magic. Oh, Stress Magia. Okay. Like, I mean, there is 3 of them, so you got, like... You got at least like half of the job done to convince me. A group of 3 magical girls fight against They do seem to make big booms. Okay, that's one image of a. That is one image of naked teenagers. I do not like this. I will try to erase this from my memory. There we go. I don't. Their wiki is kind of. There's Magia Magenta, Azul, Sulfur. The personalities match. Yeah, there seems to be like. But which one is it? And Sulfur seems to be kind of like a rebellious one. There's a rebellious one. Yeah, a calm and cool mask for the public, when in reality she's a crude and short-tempered girl. Yeah, that sounds like rebel. Rebel? Yes. Yeah, Blossom, Rebel, and Bubble, right? I'm not an idiot yet. Calm, composed person, part of the Shrine Maiden. She becomes more aggressive, fighting reckless and putting in it. A little bit hanging and changing because of obsession, being punished. Extremely energetic, composing, childish hero. Oh, that sounds more like a bubble character. Smiling and acting on their feelings. Yeah, okay. Okay, you know what? I'm kinda sold. Yeah, it's free super it's a free v3 of like free like magical girls. Shit! I keep forgetting to remove the. I just realized. Did I remove the text? Oh no, it's my feedback crushing. Okay, because I saw on the feedback that I hit I had still like the AFK text, but it's just my feedback. I'm sorry. I don't know. My feedback. Don't know why. It's just. I just saw the feedback. I wasn't sure if I had the. But no, I do get that, like free super hero girls with like matching personalities, kind of a color code. I do. There's a vibe. There's maybe there's an underrated vibe. I hope you're not like sending me into like some weird into some weird underage bullshit, huh? Because I can be a bit I can be easily fooled with your nonsense. I can be easily fooled with anime nonsense, but I do. I'm happy that there's I'm happy that there's a vibe. I'm happy that there is a convincing. I'm happy that there's I want to believe at least. I'm happy that there's a similar show that really seemed to be taking the same vibe as Powerpuff Girls. Like really like hits the nail on the head. I do get that. I do respect that. I still need to. I'm raising my finger. Because I saw some images that made me question myself, or like made me question what the fuck I was doing. nothing like no like question myself as in questioning myself, like actually question what the fuck I was doing. But only I'm sure it's a first impression thing. I want to believe in it. Now I kept the worst one for last. Rain Dog. Because until then, we were covering nothing but, established character with an established canon, an established universe, a franchise, and then there's this fucker. What am I supposed to do with Rain Dog? It's very good a matchup for Rain Dog. Do people even care about Rain Dog? Plus, apparently apparently from the, if I understood the multiverse's lore, apparently he's responsible for the whole shit, or like for the whole thing for everything that happens in multiverses. He's the guy that's gathering people around. So like, what even is his deal? Jeff the Land Shark from Marvel. Some kind of dimension traveling character would fit. Roy from Fire Emblem made his first appearance in Smash? Really? It's very cultured with an actually good plot. It's just annoying that it's a hiatus. Some kind of dimension traveling character would fit. Master Hand? No, Master Hand is too busy fighting Polygon Man. The Polygon Man from PlayStation All Star. I'm seeing Rain Dog versus Pibby. Remember Pibby? That thing that happened? I'm kind of vibing with that, actually. Sorry, it took me a while to say anything, but because like they're both massive. They're both massive Warner Brothers crossover projects. I'm seeing a connection right there. That are like, I mean, what What better way to end this? To remind you that Multiversus is being shut down. By reminding, hey, Rain Dog versus Pibby. Two characters from massive crossover projects that never went anywhere. That's the matchup, you know what? That's a good way to end it. That's a good way to end it. I've seen Rain Dog versus ROB, but like ROB actually saved the video game industry. We're not gonna remember Rain Dog. That's a good way to end it. Rain Dog versus Pibby from Come and Learn with Pibby. Because that's what Multiverses will go down That's how Multiversus will go down in people's memories. A grand project, but goddammit, it went nowhere. Any objection about that? With that, we finally completed the list. We're doing a quick final rundown with Finn the Human versus Link, Jake versus Stretch-O-Nuts from Crypto the Superdog. Yeah. The Banana Guards versus Toad, which the highlight of the personal highlights. I'm gonna put like the matchups I really like in bold. We have the Banana Guards versus the Toads, Marceline versus Charlie Morningstar. Maybe have no lore or shows how did the show exist. I mean, neither will Multiversus. I'm being a dick. Beetlejuice versus the Mask. We have Superman versus Optimus Prime, Batman versus Moon Knight, Wonder Woman versus Pegasus Seiya, Harley Quinn versus Amy Rose, Black Adam versus Doctor Doom, Joker versus Green Goblin, Nubia versus Lady Sif. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the chat because y'all are talking about like You're talking about like Starfire and Daphne for some reason. Yes, Starfire would have been good actually. Starfire would have been good in Multiversus actually. Let's go. Raven versus Sailor Saturn from Sailor Moon. Aquaman versus Black Panther from Marvel. Jason versus Leatherface from Chainsaw Massacre. Arya versus Amy from Soul Calibur. Gizmo versus E.T. The Gremlins versus the Critters. Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny. Taz versus Crash Bandicoot. Marvin versus Invader Zim. Invader, I barely know her. LeBron James versus Parzival from Ready Player One. Lola Bunny versus Minnie Mouse. Rick Sanchez versus Mr. Fantastic. Morty Smith versus Tails. Shaggy versus Luigi. Velma versus Futaba from Persona 5. Steven Universe versus Invincible from Invincible. Garnet versus Skips. Iron Giant versus Bumblebee, specifically the Bayverse. Tom Cast versus Sylvester the Cat. Jerry Mouse versus Twitty. Twitty the Bird. Agent Smith versus T-1000. Samurai Jack versus Atomic Samurai. The Powerpuff Girls versus Tres Magia. And Rain Dog versus Pibby from Come and Learn with Pibby. What a selection, guys. I think we did a good job. I forgot how long these took. Happening the game over track. I was thinking about it. Maybe we should end it there, actually. That's a very perfect way to wrap it up. What a good way to wrap it up. Anyway. Thank you so much for you all for joining today's stream. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for your suggestions. It's always fun. It's like spending time. It's just like throwing ideas at the wall until it works. That's how I do my drawings. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you maybe for the reaction for Master Chief versus Doomslayer. Have you seen the preview? It's kind of baller. It's actually really baller. I'm really excited. pretty much everything I wanted to say. So normally I should probably wrap it up there because there's Autistic Gamer Sean apparently is about to stream tonight, so, and I don't want to miss that. So with all that, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. Thank you again so much for watching, everyone. Rest in peace, Multiversus. It was fun while it lasted. That was Turok at your service. Bye. No! Wait, the music is resuming! Shut up!